Hi, good morning, everybody. It's Saturday, rainy Saturday here in Shaker Heights, and I am filming this from my living room, which I am lovingly calling Abide East right now, while our physical space is closed. I was thinking that it might be a really nice thing today to practice some strong poses. All right, maybe we'll get a little sweaty. We will move our body, we will use our muscles, we will stand up, feel our feet on the floor. This idea that, when we can't go outside and ride our bikes or go for a run because of the rain, we can do what we need to do indoors. So let's just take a little bit of time to get settled and situated on our mats. I'm thinking that we might begin in constructive rest pose. And in constructive rest, you just lie down. The soles of your feet are about as wide as your mat, and the knees are pointing up but also dropping in towards the center. And then just kind of center your shoulders, your pelvis. You might pick both of those areas of your body up and set them back down. And then rock your head a little bit from side to side here. Really let your head kind of be massaged by the floor. Allow your eyes to become soft in their sockets. Good. If you want to have your arms out to the side like this, that's great. Or you might even decide to stretch them out and past your head. And let's just begin by noticing our breath here. Let's take about 10 big breaths or so. And how does your breath feel this morning? How does your body feel this morning? Good. What does your jaw feel like? What is going on with your guts? Good. What is going on in your house, in your mind? What are you seeing in your neighborhood, in your city? Just taking a moment to pause and to acknowledge how things are right now. Good. Another 3 deep breaths. Maybe thinking about setting some kind of an intention for the rest of your day. Maybe it's just for the next, hour, whatever it is. Some thought about how you want to move, how you want to carry yourself, how you want to interact with others. Good, and then why don't we just bring the knees up if they were touching. We'll bring them so that they're just a little bit apart. And we're going to cross that left ankle over the right knee. And let's think about possibly hugging the right thigh in towards the chest. If this feels really intense in the hips, you're welcome to leave that right foot on the floor and just experience that nice opening through the left hip. Otherwise, hug it in. Give yourself maybe like a little baby rock from side to side here. Good, and we'll just hold this for a couple of deep breaths, not too long, just long enough to get some information about that left hip. A few big inhales, a few nice exhales. Great, and then let's step that right foot back down. If it's lifted, place the left foot on the floor, and we're going to take a floating bridge here. So lifting the hips, lifting the spine, reach those arms out past the head, reach out through those fingertips, Really feel the glutes squeezing. Let's hold this for a couple of deep breaths. Nice, and then go ahead and roll that spine back down. Let's bring the arms back alongside the body, and this time we're going to cross that right ankle over the left knee. Maybe you are hugging that left thigh in towards the chest, or maybe your left foot stays connected to the floor. It doesn't really matter what it looks like on the outside. It's more about how things are feeling in your right hip. Okay, so just allowing yourself to be where you are, and experiencing whatever sensations are coming up physically for you right now. Let's take a few deep breaths here. I have been riding my bike a lot recently. It's one of the activities that both my kids and I can get into together. So we have been riding our bike, and oh my gosh, my hips, my glutes, my hamstrings, everything's feeling really strong right now. So a few more moments to just release a little tension in the hip. Good, and then we'll set that left foot back down. Let's place the right foot on the floor. And from here, let's pick up into a bridge pose. Another bridge pose, but this time the arms are alongside the body. You might decide to take some robot arms, pointing the fingers up towards the ceiling. If you like to interlace your fingers behind your back, you're welcome to do that. And why not 5 breaths or so here? Good, one more breath. All right, and then just begin to roll that spine back down. Just relax, let's stretch out nice and big here. So opening up those legs, the feet, extending the arms out to the side. Let's take starfish pose for a moment or two. Really reaching out through those fingers. Feel the crown of the head reach away from the tip of the tailbone. Good. All right, and then we'll draw ourselves into a little ball here. And as you find this little ball position, let's take the hands underneath the lower back. Okay, we're going to take the feet up towards the ceiling. And then let's begin to just use our belly and thigh muscles. So we're going to lower one leg down and lift it back up. Lower the other leg down and lift it back up. And you can sort of move through this at your own pace. You might sync your breathing with your movements. Just do what kind of feels natural, but remember to breathe. Holding your breath here does not serve you. Breathing, even though you're doing something difficult, is a really good thing. Good. Let's maybe take another 7 or 8 deep breaths worth of this kind of movement. Good, and then pull the knees in towards the chest, a little rock around on that lower back, mid-back. Why don't we take a twist here? So we'll drop the knees on over to the right. You might open your arms up really wide. And think about scooting your shoulders so that things feel more comfortable along the spine. I just ended up scooting my right shoulder over to the right a little bit. You might also scoot your hips. Good, and let's take 5 really deep breaths and notice the belly, notice the lower ribs, the middle of your back. Good, one more breath. All right, and let's come back through to the center. As you find the center, I think we're going to take a little bit more time for some low belly activity. So let's take the feet around in a circle. Okay, the circle can be big, the circle can be small. See if you can keep your jaw sort of relaxed as you move your legs around in this circle. Right, and we're going to take the circle in the other direction too. The side might be a little bit more challenging as you move. Good, and then we'll pull the knees in towards the chest, and let's take our knees over to the left this time, finding our nice, relaxed supine twist. Again, maybe scooting those shoulders off to the left or the hips, kind of towards the center of the mat. Perfect, and then one more breath here. We'll come back through to the center. As you find the center, it's always kind of nice to take a little bit of movement here in the middle that feels kind of neutralizing. Maybe it's you rocking your knees a little bit from side to side. Also, I'm going to offer up a happy baby pose. Okay, a little rock around on that lower back of yours. Good, and then let's rock along the length of the spine. You see if you can really use the muscles of your belly and the muscles of your back. As you come up to catch yourself on your sitting bones, feel your collarbones broaden too. Heart lifts a little bit. Wonderful. Just another couple breaths. And then let's catch ourselves in a bow pose, which can look so many ways. Maybe your toes are down, your hands are on your thighs. You might lift up your feet. You might take your arms forward or even up or extend the legs out long. Just holding this for a moment, nice and strong, whichever variation you choose. Good, and then we're going to cross those ankles and fold forward. Let's take our feet just about as wide as the mat. Let the head drop down. If you've got some hair, go ahead and pull the hair at the top of your head or maybe the base of the skull, relieving a little bit of tension through the neck, the shoulders. Good. As you inhale, halfway lift. Okay, let's take the arms alongside the body, really press down into the feet. Feel the chest lift, the collarbones broaden. And then exhale to fold yourself forward. Inhale, come all the way up, reach nice and high. Yeah, maybe the hands come together. And then, let's take a chair pose here. So sit down nice and low in your chair pose. Great, maybe you pick up the toes and rock back into the heels. Maybe you pick up the heels and rock forward into the toes. Let's swing the arms alongside the body. Interlace the fingers behind the back and fold forward, standing yoga mudra. Couple breaths. You might turn the head from side to side here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms and step back into a downward dog. Yay, it's downward dog time. Okay, pedal through those heels a little bit. You might rock the hips side to side. Few big breaths. All right, and then let's rock forward into a high plank pose. If this is challenging on the wrists, feel free to lower down onto forearms. And then we're going to rock both heels over to the right. Feel the right side of your belly lifting. Come back through the center. Good. Rock both heels over to the left. Left hip lifts. Good. Come back through the center. And then lower those hips on down. Let's roll the head and neck around here. Couple deep breaths. If you feel so inclined, you might take a lion's breath or two. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, stick out your tongue. Good. All right, and if you would like a little bit more of a back bend or a stretch through your belly and thighs, press into the hands, lift up those elbows, seal pose. Good, let's settle those elbows back down and our chest to the floor. And now let's make our way back into downward facing dog. And as you find this downward facing dog, just take a moment here. Good, let the head drop way down. Let's roll forward into a high plank, and then we're going to drop the heels over to the right and take that left arm up nice and high. Side plank. You might even take your left arm past your head. Good, back through to the center. Hold here. And then heels over to the left. Right arm lifts or out past the head. Good. Come back through to the center. Downward facing dog. Step that right foot in between the hands. Spin that left heel down. We're going to lift up into a warrior one. Let's take the elbows down alongside the shoulders. Fingers up. We're going to feel nice and strong here. Few deep breaths. Good. Hands come down to the floor. Let's lift that left leg up. Right hand can stay down. Left hand up to the hip or the ceiling. Good. Let's drop that left hand down to the floor. Step the left foot down. And we're going to find a squat. Good. And as you find this squat, it might be nice to keep your chest lifted here, or maybe you want to fold forward a bit. Choice is yours. Good. 2 more breaths here in your squat. And then we're going to stand up from the squat. So just press into the feet, lift up, reach those arms high, and bring your hands together at the heart. Step the feet back to hip socket distance. Take a mountain pose. Arms alongside the body. You're nice and strong here. Good. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step on back into downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, high plank. Then we're going to take it over to the right side plank. Hold here for a moment. Right side of your belly lifts. Come back through to the center. Side plank to the left. Right arm lifts. Good. Come back through to the center. Downward dog. Couple breaths. Shake the head out. Let's extend that left leg up and back. Step the left foot forward. Spin your right heel down. Warrior one. Few really good breaths here. Feel that left foot pressing forward and the outside edge of the right foot pressing into the floor. Wonderful. Both hands come down to frame the left foot. Let's find half moon. Inside line of that left leg lifts, right leg, right arm reaches high. Good, a deep breath in here, and then exhale and set your right foot down next to the left. Let's shake those hips a little side to side. And we're going to find Uttanasana, so the standing forward fold. Hands can come to the back of the calves. Maybe your fingers interlaced around your big toes. Maybe you're stepping on your palms if that feels good to you. Let's take 5 deep breaths here. Good, and then from here, just lift yourself up halfway, palms to shins or knees. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to high plank. And let's lower down so slowly to the floor. Keep your elbows close. Turn your head so that your left cheek is down and pull your right knee out to the side. And just take a moment to feel the floor underneath you. If you want to extend your right leg out long into the side, that's a thought. You might go there for a moment or two, or maybe even turning that right foot so that the sole of the foot looks at the floor. The outer edge of the right foot presses down. Great, and then let's swing that right leg nice and long behind. Press into the fingertips. Lift up the upper body. So lifting the chest, drawing the shoulder blades close. A nice mid-back strengthener. And then we'll turn so that the right cheek is down, that left knee comes out to the side. A little bit of time in your half frog pose. Good. If you want to extend that left leg out long into the side, go for it. Maybe even turning that foot a little bit so the sole looks at the floor. The outside edge of the left foot presses down. Good. And then swing that left leg nice and long behind again. And this time we're going to pick up the lower body and the upper body. Your hands can stay here on the floor under your shoulders, or maybe they're alongside the body for your locust pose. Good. A few deep breaths here, nice and strong. Wonderful. And then let's lower ourselves down and press back into a child's pose. And then from child's pose, we'll lift ourselves up to sitting on the heels for a moment. Feel the chest lifting, the collarbones broadening. Good, and let's take a little bit of time to find our sitting bones on the floor. And a couple of options for this final forward fold. Maybe your legs are out long in front of you. Maybe you're taking a wide angle, right? Or a butterfly pose, soles of the feet together and the knees out wide. Right? Whatever feels most comfortable for your hips, your hamstrings, your back. Right? And finding a way to maybe fold in here for a little bit, just like 10 breaths or so. You really take notice of your sitting bones touching the floor and the crown of the head reaching away from the tip of the tailbone. Good. 3 more breaths. Wonderful. When you feel good and ready, begin to lift yourself back up and out of this. And it's time for Shavasana. So just coming to lie down on your back, your arms out to the side, your palms facing up. It might feel nice to kind of pick up one set of glutes and then the other and set them back down. Give the pelvis a little rock here. Rock the head side to side. But then eventually finding some amount of stillness. If you feel comfortable closing your eyes, close your eyes. And just spend a little bit of time listening to the sound of your own breath. Good. We'll stay here for about 10 to 15 breaths more. Giving yourself this little window of peace, this little window of calm on your rainy Saturday. Wonderful. And in these last few moments of practice, you might think about, it sounds kind of, played out, but it never gets old for me at least. A few things that you feel really grateful for right now. Could be the fact that you are in a strong body. Maybe you are grateful for time that you normally would have been running around and doing all the things. Time spent with your family at home. Maybe today you're grateful for the rain because it's giving you an opportunity to settle in and relax. Any old thing. What are you grateful for? Good. And as you feel ready to move your body again, of course there's no rush. You are home. You can do whatever you want. But as you feel ready to move your body again, just give yourself a nice little stretch. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Roll those wrists and ankles around. Maybe you're taking another lion's breath here to invigorate a little bit, breathing in through the nose, breathing out, sticking out the tongue. Eventually, maybe rolling over to one side or the other for a few moments. Holding yourself here and breathing a couple of deep breaths into the back plane of your body if you are on your side. But then eventually, come on up, take a seat. And you might choose to sit here in seated meditation for a few minutes. That option is for you if you have some quiet space and time right now. Maybe that would be lovely. But if not, just allowing yourself to move on with the rest of your day with a little bit more peace and a little bit more sense of strength and grounding. I'm so happy you were able to watch this today and practice with me. And I will see you again really soon. Thank you.